Kaieteur Radio, keeping you informed.
Demerara and Essequibo 99.1 FM.
Burby's 99.5 FM. Kaieteur Radio.
Good evening and welcome to this evening's newscast right here on Kaieteur Radio. I am Kevin Smith. Before we get to the news in detail, let's get to you the front page comment brought to you by Kaieteur News. Time to be blunt on our wealth. Who do the morons that we have masquerading as politicians believe they are fooling? They have allowed Guyana to be robbed of hundreds of billions in US dollars, yet they go around begging all around the world for loans to build bridges, roads, and schools. We alert all Guyana that Kaieteur News and the Kaieteur Radio will raise the bar on our leaders when it comes to our national wealth. We will be very blunt. We will be blunt about Guyana's gold and diamond. We will be blunt about our bauxite, timber, and most of all, we will be extremely blunt about our oil. Who owns it secretly? Who is cheating and stealing from us? Who is lying to us, avoiding answering us, tricking us, and covering up? We want our Guyanese brothers and sisters to be enlightened and made wiser so that they can judge for themselves who is depriving them of their birthright to have a comfortable life. The priority right now is to get to the bottom of who is cheating and robbing our country of its fabulously rich oil wealth. This is what all of us who are being deceived should be outraged about, and about which we should be ready to do something. We have been patient and courteous with government after government and one political leader after another. We promised that we will be blunt. Whoever doesn't like it can do something about it. They can come clean with the real truths about our oil. From today on, we'll be dedicating page 7 of the Kaieteur newspaper to our bluntness on this ongoing indecency. And in today's Kaieteur News, page 7, Guyana has billions of US dollars in wealth. Why then should we be going around the world begging for millions of US dollars in loans to build bridges, roads, and schools? Can you believe this? Wake up, brothers and sisters. Wake up, Guyana. These are the issues over which we should be protesting about. And now we get to the news in detail. If Guyana wants to ensure there is early consideration of local content, when it would be wise to request that oil companies embed opportunities for maximum use of indigenous goods and services, as well as the training and hiring of Guyanese in their field development plans, or FDPs. Making this assertion was Dr. Valerie Marcel, an Associate Fellow of Chatham House for its Energy, Environment and Resources Program. Dr. Marcel made the foregoing comment in relation to questions premised on a Chatham House policy paper titled A Local Content Decision Tree for Emerging Producers. That document notes that integrating local content objectives into procurement and engineering strategies for a company's field development plans has significantly increased the impact of efforts to benefit the local economy. During discussions on this recommendation, Dr. Marcel acknowledged that indeed it is a critical area that could be used to maximize local content capacities. Although it may be Africa's largest oil-producing nation, Nigeria is losing billions of dollars due to lopsided deals with companies such as ExxonMobil, Total, and Petrobras. In fact, a recent study on this state of affairs shows that it is in the last decade, Nigeria lost approximately $28.61 billion to its failure to review the poor production sharing contract terms that govern 7 deepwater fields in the country. This projection was made in a policy brief released by the Nigeria Extractive Industries Transparency Initiative. The transparency body stressed that the money lost could have supported 99% of the federal government budget for 2019. The $28.6 billion loss is also 19 times Guyana's 2020 budget. Let's tell you now that the Extractive Industries Transparency Initiative last week released new reporting guidelines for companies and commodity traders looking to buy oil, gas, and minerals from government. The guidelines promote a consistent approach to the disclosure of payments to states or to state-owned enterprises. The guidelines cover 5 key steps to data publication. These are mapping selling entities and transactions, determining the data to be disclosed, including the level of aggregation of the data, providing data assurances, communicating disclosures to selling entities, and determining the way in which data is presented and published. The body was keen to highlight that the scale of economic significance of payments for these commodities make them a matter of public interest. In other news, Vice President Dr. Bharat Jagdeo on Friday said that the government would release the oil permits the former David Granger administration granted to ExxonMobil but did not release. These are the permits for the first 2 field developments, Liza Phases 1 and 2, as well as the corresponding environmental permits. Jagdeo urged the media to critically analyze the differences between the Payara permit and the Liza permits. He is of the view that the PPPC has significantly improved upon the mistakes of the Granger administration. He said that these improvements are there to ensure that the third development, Payara, would be executed in a more environmentally safe manner, among other critical considerations. In other news, Surgical Associates Guyana has introduced laser treatment of kidney stones at the St. Joseph Mercy Hospital. According to a press release, the first case of a kidney stone treated with the laser in Guyana was that of a 34-year-old female with a 1.1 centimeter stone in the kidney. The patient was successfully treated last Thursday at St. Joseph Hospital and was discharged within hours of the procedure. And moving on, the 28-year-old Venezuelan cook was on Sunday last found murdered in a mining pit at Big Hopeback Dam in Cuyuni, Region 7. The woman has been identified as Dima Emilia Lezema Fermin of San Felix, Ciudad Guyana, Estado Bolivar. According to information, the ranks were informed via telephone that the woman's body was discovered at around 6 hours 30, floating in the pit. Upon arrival at the scene, investigating ranks noted that the corpse was clad in a blue jersey with its underwear missing. Lezema's body bore multiple marks of violence in the form of hematoma, or swelling of clotted blood within the tissues, are commonly described as black and blue marks. According to investigators, all of their findings so far indicate that Lezema was beaten and probably raped prior to her death. Let's tell you now that on the 28th anniversary of the return of democracy in Guyana, ANAG has reminded the new administration of their commitment to constitutional reform and shared governance. In a statement to the press this afternoon, ANAG wrote of the 28th anniversary after rigged elections from 1968, 1972, 1980, and 1985, and a rigged referendum in 1978. It reminded that the PPPC won the elections on October 5th, 1992, promising shared governance or a winner does not take all system of governance. However, the PPPC remained in office for 23 years amidst an unstable political system punctuated by periodic violence and with economic growth unreflective of Guyana's potential. And that brings us to the end of this evening's newscast. I am Kevin Smith. Stay tuned. Coming up next is the National Outlook with GHK Lyle, and exactly at 19 hours 30, a rebroadcast of Guyana's Oil and You with Kiana Wilberg.
And that's the news of the moment. Remember to get the full details of these stories, pick up a copy of the Kaieteur News. And don't forget, you can catch us on the MyTuner app as well as the Radio Garden app. You can also keep up to date by liking our